Good morning. It's Thursday. And if you saw me yesterday, I'm wearing the same clothes. Because Stan didn't give me a chance to change. The U.S. has diverted 20,000 missiles promised for the Ukraine to the Middle East. So something is happening in the Middle East that is far bigger than the current Gaza war. And despite President Trump's rhetoric around wanting a deal with Iran so no blood will be spilled, the U.S. president has continued to insist that Iran will not be allowed to enrich uranium. And the Iranians have responded to Trump's comment by insisting that they will continue to enrich because they probably don't believe that he'll do anything. Because Trump had been known to change his mind on a lot of things. So he has to stick to his guns on this thing. He has to warn Iran that they are playing with fire. Uranium. So what is Trump going to do about that? So earlier in the week, in the wake of Iran's rebuttal of the U.S. proposal, Trump held a 40-minute phone call with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other members of the Israeli Security Cabinet. The official statement by Israel after the phone call insisted that Israel will hold off attacking Iran unless the U.S.-Iran talks fail. Now, most people are wondering if Israel will really simply wait and allow Iran to march to the bomb while they drag on talks with Trump, or at the very least rebuild their air defense systems, making it harder for Israel and the U.S. to attack the nuclear sites in their future. That's what people are watching Iran do. With all of the chatter and public statements, it is hard to see what is really going on. Perhaps it's not only Iran that is stalling, but President Trump. Wall Street Journal reported last week that the Pentagon quietly notified Congress last week that for rockets that Ukraine uses to shoot down Russian drones are now being allocated to the U.S. Air Force units in the Middle East. And sure enough, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said the following in an ABC interview this week. We were counting on that project. 20,000 missiles specifically designed to intercept jihad. It is not expensive, but it is special technology, and we need it. If the U.S. is transferring these missiles due to an immediate threat to U.S. personnel in the Middle East, then the only explanation is a coming attack on Iran, either by Israel or by the U.S. or by both of them. Iran's response would not only target Israel, but U.S. bases across the region, bases that are less than adequate when it comes to drone swarm, a threat that Iran can easily follow through on. Trump knows that Iran will not give up its nuclear enrichment program, but also knows that U.S. troops must have maximum protection in place well before the U.S. wipes out the Iranian nuclear installations and ballistic missile factories. So this might be the real reason that the U.S. prefers to allow Iran to drag out the talks. How about little crisis that seems to be brewing in the Middle East? amazing what you can find out if you're paying attention. So I tell you, watch this situation. I cannot believe that Iran would be crazy enough to take on the United States. Not unless they were sure that they had some deadly weapons and some things that could do severe damage and cause the U.S. great problem. I don't think they're equipped to do that. And I think the U.S. is intelligent enough to have many, many eyes on what goes on in Iran and in that part of the world. So if Iran starts to manufacture things or move things around that don't make any sense, I am sure that the U.S. will have an eye on it. They will have humans looking and they will have satellites looking. The U.S. while they may be slow to react in certain situations, they are not dummies. We are not dummies. We know how to fight a war. We've been through enough wars in our time to know how to fight. Even though the rules change with every war and the weaponry changes with every war. In fact, this might be a war of just drones, robots, no humans involved at all. That's a crazy thought in my mind. But it's possible. It's possible because why do people want to risk human lives if they can avoid it? But the U.S. is on their toes and they're moving things around. And this is a serious matter if they're going through the trouble of moving all this stuff around and protecting all the troops that are in that area. So we have to keep an eye on that. Be smart. That's what I think. We must be smart. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.